Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome to Curtain Jerkin. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Grondy, reporting for the Main Event Marks YouTube channel. Hold on, let me shut the door real quick. You can also check me out on Spotify, Apple Music. If you're listening to my voice, I appreciate it. And I also appreciate wrestling. There's tons of wrestling this weekend. I watched Smackdown. I watched Rampage. But even at that, I'm missing a Impact pay-per-view right now, and there's a GCW show. So I watched two wrestling shows, but I only got half the wrestling shows in this evening. And then tomorrow afternoon, we have Night of Champions. You can check out my predictions on that on the last show that I recorded a few days ago. And then on Sunday, we have AEW Double or Nothing. You can check out my predictions on that show, on that same episode a few days ago. So if you're listening to this show and you haven't checked out the last show, maybe listen to this one and then listen to that one. They're both only going to be about 20 to 30 minutes, so it's a good time. I appreciate you listening regardless. Do whatever you'd like to do. Let me know what you think about this show in the comments below. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. AEW Dynamite. I'm going to give you guys my overall thoughts from AEW this week, and then I'm going to go into ranking every single match from worst to first before I go into WWE Smackdown. Ricky Stark's promo, good as always. He mentions that he got cute on purpose because he wanted to show Bullet Club Gold that he was in control, and then he gets attacked by Bullet Club Gold. I guess they were in control right then. Great delivery by Starks. I love this feud. It's a random feud. There's not a title in sight. I forget why they both groups dislike each other. Sean Spears at one point was randomly involved. I don't know where he is. As random as it is, these three guys can go and they can all go on the mic. I enjoy it. Jungle Boy promo about every time he goes to Vegas, he leaves a little different, leaves better than he came in. I thought this was a pretty good promo. Not as good as FTR. They're always good, especially, making old school TNA references like they did. And then Mark Briscoe comes out and you have Dax apologizing for pile driving him because, of course, Andre Dutt spit liquor into his face. He was temporarily blind. He said, "Shake my hand like a man, I'm sorry." And Mark doesn't want to shake his hand. He wants to bitch slap him across the face, and that's exactly what he did. And then as he's leaving up the ramp, Team TNA think that they're on his side. He ends up bitch slapping Jeff Jarrett and then looks at Jay Lethal and says, "You're my buddy. I'm tired of this shit. This feud is great. This old school is probably my most anticipated match at Double or Nothing." I'll say that. I'm saying it because I realize it's true as it's coming out my mouth. This is an epiphany moment for me to realize that this match is what I'm most looking forward to at Double or Nothing. Sammy Guevara promo was solid. Lots of Ring of Honor wrestlers on this show. What am I supposed, wouldn't there, it was, AEW got convoluted with all the Ring of Honor titles being defended on the AEW show, and then we were all told that once the Ring of Honor show would start, that kind of would go away. And we had the Ring of Honor champion fighting the Ring of Honor tag champions. We had a lot of, guys that were only featured in Ring of Honor previously to this, featured on this show in various matches. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. I just thought that was something of note to bring up. The Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club video package. MJF promo, always good as well. Darby has heard enough from MJF. He comes out and confronts him. He gets low blowed by MJF. Sammy's seen enough. He runs out. MJF runs to the back but gets caught by Jungle Boy, who finally attacks him. This build has been getting better when they kind of started doing these video packages leading up to the match. I don't think that Jungle Boy is ready for this main event spot. I think Darby's over enough to, you could probably give it to him. And I don't think Sammy is quite there yet either. I think if you did a Darby versus MJF world title match, I think that would maybe have something that people could sink their teeth into a little more, but having just all 4 pillars, and they're 4 pillars that you just kind of called 4 pillars, I don't think it's enough to really sell the pay-per-view. And I mean, shit, it seems like, kind of like with Collision, there's like a lot of backstage stuff that's kind of overshadowing the in-ring product with CM Punk and everything like that, and then it's negatively affecting, at this point, I think it's negatively affecting the ratings, and I think it's negatively affecting ticket sales. I mean, I'll just say it, there was something that came out today that if you bought a cheeseburger at a certain Las Vegas restaurant, you got a ticket to AEW Double or Nothing. And then if we watch Rampage, of course this is filmed after Dynamite, there was visible seats right there in the middle of the camera. You could not miss it. So they can't even cover it up anymore. They even got the guys from the Battle Royal out there as seat fillers in the main event. Of course, I'm joking about that, but this isn't good. This is supposed to be like one of your big 4 pay-per-views, and you're only selling 6,000 to 7,000 tickets. I know they're selling Wembley and 60,000 or whatever, but I mean, the prestige, that looks like, the bloom is off the road, and I've been saying it for months. If the backstage stuff starts overshadowing the on-screen stuff, it's going to negatively affect everything. I mean, people to this day are writing books, doing podcasts, making documentaries about all the backstage stuff that happened in WCW, but the peak years of WCW was only 5 years, and here they are making a name after what happened backstage for 25 years. And are the people that own WCW seeing a lot of that money? No, it's all the other people involved. So if you care about AEW and you're like an AEW stan, I mean, you should not care about the backstage stuff. If you're someone like me that's a wrestling fan that's going to watch either way, you can dive into both. We get the Wardlow versus Christian Cage video package. Tony Khan announces the Collision show, and I kind of already went into that with, it's in Chicago, so that heavily implies that CM Punk is going to be there. The show is not selling well, as far as from what I understand. Dynamite's going to be there 5 days later. Is that going to hurt tickets? Are they kind of hurting tickets for both? Right now, from what I understand, both tickets are like the same amount of low ticket sales. So it's not like people are buying Dynamite to skip Collision, or buying Collision to skip Dynamite. They're just kind of skipping the whole thing. It seems like low ticket sales in Chicago. Chicago was a hub. Vegas was a hub. And are they losing their hubs? What's happening here? We'll watch. We'll see what happens. Hangman Page cuts a promo, and then there was the Adam Cole Jericho contract signing. This was great. Jericho, good as always. The Jericho Appreciation Society, good as always. But then Adam Cole reminding everybody why he is so loved. He says, "Sign the contract, B," and the B did not stand for baby. But damn, he took it back to NXT Adam Cole with this one. Jericho signed the contract, and then Cole said, "I'm going to have a special guest enforcer in my corner." And it was Kyle O'Reilly. No. It was Bobby Fish. No. It was Sabu, randomly enough. He comes out, swings a chair, Daddy Magic. He's looking sharper than I've ever seen him at any kind of convention, or especially on TV. But that was Dynamite. And then a Rampage, like I said, visibly empty seats. Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes cut a promo. They're going to be in the Battle Royal. And here we are ranking every single match from worst to first from Dynamite and Rampage this week. Number 9 out of 9. The Guns versus Ethan Page. The Guns and Ethan Page versus Braxton Watson and Fresco Metallic. I've seen these guys on Twitter. I've seen these guys on Memphis Championship Wrestling, but the Guns and Page make short work of them. 1, 2, 3. Page cutting a promo on how they injured Cassidy, so it can't be a trios match. The Hardys come out, cut a weird promo. Cassidy comes out wearing a neck brace, looking silly. People are moaning. People are into it. The moan is over. And he says, he's not cleared. And then he reveals that Hook will be their partner. He comes out, the FTW champion. Mild pop here. This is pretty interesting here because Hook kind of had that ironic buzz in the winter of 2021. So it's like a year and a half now after he's debuted, and I don't think the bloom is off the rose on Hook. I think there's still kind of this odd mystique that they're able to kind of manifest by just not having him wrestle a lot and using, great guys like Ethan Page and the Guns and the Hardys and Isaiah Cassidy and a lot of people to make Hook look good. And why not? I mean, that's what the wrestling business is, to try to make people look good. Is he good? I don't think so. I think he's only a year and a half into the whole wrestling industry. So for a year and a half in, I think he's pretty good. I think he's got cool music. From what I understand, young people think he's cool. He's got the I just got out of bed in a wind tunnel hair. I think people are going to think that's cool. But that was the worst match on the show. Number 8 out of 9, Taya Valkyrie versus Lady Frost. Cool to see Lady Frost. Jade comes out there. Taya wins with the flight of the Valkyrie. Jade's pissed. Mark holds her back. We're going to see this match on Sunday. Number 7, The Acclaimed versus Ingobernables. Love seeing the kids getting into The Acclaimed. Billy Gunn and Preston Vance locking horns. Rouge cuts off the triple team. All hell breaks loose. Jose gets involved. He gets hit with the Scissor Me Timbers, whatever the hell it's called. Mic drop from Caster, 1, 2, 3. The Acclaimed get the victory, and they cut a promo on House of Black. They say the house always wins, but never bet black. Something. They're making a lot of Vegas references, but at the end of the day, I know that the Acclaimed won House of Black, and I think that's going to be a great trios match. I mean, the lights could be pink that match. You got you get the black, and you got the pink. I mean, it's just perfect wrestling. I would just want to see it already. I feel like the Acclaimed have been in this odd limbo period for too long. They haven't known what to do with him. They caught lightning in the bottle, and they just smashed the bottle for no fucking reason. They, at one point in 2023, the Acclaimed were more over than the Bucks, more over than Lucha Brothers, and even more over than FTR, all these teams. And they gave them the titles. They put the titles on the Guns for a cup of coffee. And I don't think they knew what to do once they had a team as over as the Acclaimed. I mean, shit. You could have at one point done Max Caster versus MJF if you wanted to, but it feels like that's kind of slipped away from them, and they could bring it back with this great trios feud, but time will tell. Number 6 out of 9, Best Friends versus Moriarty and Big Bill, the main event of Rampage. Members of the Battle Royal at ringside, Big Bill cleaning house. Trent hitting the 3 amigos on Moriarty, but then getting caught with a chokeslam on the apron by Big Bill. Huge superplex from Best Friends to Big Bill. The superplex is why I ranked this match as high as I did. Big Bill slams Chucky T, 1, 2, 3, gets the victory. Huge brawl between all the members of all the participants in the Battle Royal. Number 5, Maria Shafir and Nyla Rose versus Shida and Baker. 3 out of the 4 women have been AEW champions. JR thought that was cool. I thought that was cool. Hopefully you guys think that's cool. Shida suplexes Shafir into Nyla. Baker trying to lock in the lockjaw. And this is why I ranked this match as high, because I loved watching Shafir have creative counters into why she didn't get the lockjaw applied sooner. But then Shida hits the kick. Boom. Lockjaw applied. Maria Shafir taps out. Funny to see Maria Shafir with a legit fighting background tapping out to something as heavily pro wrestling influence like the lockjaw, putting on the glove and everything prior to locking a submission, where you kind of do like a mandible claw in someone's mouth. Number 4, just missing the podium, the main event of AEW Dynamite, the Lucha Brothers versus Claudia and Yuta. The ROH champion going for the ROH tag titles. Claudio pulling a Roman Reigns from Night of Champions before Roman Reigns could pull a Roman Reigns from Night of Champions. Good match here. The Lucha Bros win because the Young Bucks get involved, which pisses off Moxley to high heavens. He cuts a great promo between MJF, Mox, and Cole. The promos outshine the matches on Dynamite. Moxley, pretty much is ready for Sunday for Anarchy in the Arena, the Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club. But the podium here, number 3, House of Black versus AR Fox, Metallic, and Blake Christian. House rules 20 count instead of a 10 count. 3 competitors in the ring make a trio. I think that means they can be in the ring at once. No rope break. DQs count. I love that rule. DQs count. That's That's a rule that kind of goes without saying, unless, Ricky Starks is there or something like that. Lights look cool. They weren't just black. They kind of had a blue and a yellow tint to them as well. AR Fox did an inverted 450 to the outside. I always love when he does that shit. House of Black locking 3 submissions at the same damn time, and the opponents tamp out, and the champs retain. Short but great match. Cool lighting. Just like the pure title, just like the television title in New Japan, you put a few different stipulations on some shit, and it's cool. It looks cool. Check all the boxes here. But the second best match on AEW television this week, Roderick Strong versus Daniel Garcia. This match was great. Things were heated after that contract signing. Crowd chants, Garcia can't dance. Why did you chant that, Las Vegas? That only encourages this man. He was dancing. Backbreaker 1-2. Garcia kicks out. Dragon Tamer. Strong gets to the ropes. End of Heartache 1-2-3. And then he hits the kill switch. That's how Roderick Strong makes the beat build, bitch. I love kill switch engage when Roderick Strong wins his matches. It's just something about it is just so cool. Number 1, the best match on AEW television this week. Orange Cassidy versus Kyle Fletcher. As random as this feud was, out of the blue a few weeks ago, we kind of talked about it on the show. Everyone was talking about it on Twitter, how random it was. But it was a hard week for Aussie Open fans. As we know, they had to relinquish the New Japan Strong and IWGP Tag Team Champions. But here is an Aussie Open member having the best match on American television. And apparently they were working in New Japan without a contract. So guess who scooped them up? Tony Khan. AEW has signed Aussie Open. Kyle Fletcher and Davis are all elite. Orange Cassidy is the best bout machine. I think I put him at number 1 on this thing for weeks now. Kenny Omega hand over the title best bout machine and give it to Orange Cassidy. Fletcher trying to show off on the top rope. He gets caught. Cassidy gets the upper hand, then drops him. 1, 2, no. Fletcher getting frustrated. Cassidy won't quit. Stun dog from Cassidy. 1, 2, no. Michinoku driver from Fletcher. 1, 2, no. Pin after pin. Pile driver. Then Fletcher stands up again to hit another pile driver. Never seen that before. That was cool. Avalanche Michinoku driver. 1, 2. Cassidy kicks out DDT. Fletcher reeling here. Roll up. 1, 2, 3. Dare I say Cassidy steals one, but he won't quit. So he kind of, held his own throughout this whole time. I love AEW. I love Orange Cassidy. And I finally have to admit it here. I want him to retain and beat all 21 other men, or all 20 other men in this battle royal coming up on Sunday. But before Sunday, before Night of Champions, we got to talk about Smackdown, the go-home show for Night of Champions. The one story of the show that always kind of stands out above the rest is the Bloodline storyline. So we're going to be talking about that. Then we'll talk about the rest of the show. Tensions build in the back. Jimmy says he's hungry. He's trying to leave, but Roman gets upset that he's leaving and pretty much says, I whooped your ass as a kid. I'm going to whoop your ass now. And Jay eases the tension by, I guess, leaving with Jimmy. I don't know what that was about. It's you can't leave. I'm going to make you walk out. And it's you can't make me walk out. I'm going to leave kind of a thing. But then it's all building to the Kevin Owens show that's supposed to have Roman Reigns and Solo as a guest. They call out Roman. Heyman comes out and says Roman doesn't come out when you want him to come out. He comes out when he wants to come out. The Usos want to come out, so they come out. Jimmy says, as far as the Usos go, Jimmy's the tribal chief. That popped the crowd. Heyman was scared. I was scared because that meant that Roman was coming out because he's the actual tribal chief. He doesn't like anyone calling themselves tribal chief of anything, even though he's the tribal chief of the Bloodline, not necessarily the Usos. That terminology and verbiage is going to piss off the tribal chief. Roman comes out, gets in Jimmy's face, gets in Sammy's face. Kevin Owens doesn't give a shit. He stunners the tribal chief. And all hell breaks loose. They start to brawl. Solo comes out and hits Sammy with a spike, hits Kevin Owens with a spike. The Bloodline get the upper hand. They're standing tall. Roman gets one set of tag team titles. Jimmy has the other set of tag team titles. He doesn't want to give it to Roman. Jay takes it from Jimmy, gives it to Roman. And then leaving the show, you had Roman Reigns standing there with 4 belts up in the air. Holy shit. And then, of course, Paul Heyman holding the titles that he rightfully owns. I mean, that would be insane to see. A man with 6 titles. Will Solo be able to hold his own championship if they win on Sunday? Are the Usos going to fly to Saudi just to stop Roman from winning so they can get a tag title shot? Are they going to help Roman and Solo win just so they can attack them after that and take the titles from their fellow bloodline and family members? I don't know. That's why I'm watching the damn show. But going into the rest of SmackDown, it was a nice little show. But of course, what I just talked about is the best storyline in wrestling today. Watch it on YouTube. If you're doing shit on Friday nights, I understand. But during the week, go on YouTube and watch these clips. It's cool. The curtain jerker of the evening, Sheamus with the Brawling Brutes versus Austin Theory, U.S. title on the line. Sheamus in control, but can't put the champs away. Pretty Deadly show up. The Matt Jackson of Pretty Deadly gets hit with the 10 beats. Austin Theory uses that to his advantage to roll up Sheamus and steals the victory. Shotzi and Raquel versus Io and Bayley. I think Shotzi's an upgrade from Liv, if you ask me. And the new team beats the team that was formed months ago, going into the Fatal 4-Way match to determine the new Women's Tag Team Champions on Raw this week. Shotzi and Raquel get the victory. I was surprised to see Ashanti Adonis from Hit Row come out and get a singles match, but then I realized it was against Cameron Grimes, baby. Sloppy Hurricane Rana, 6 standing shooting star. Top Dollar gets involved to no avail. Big cave in, 1, 2, 3. Cameron Grimes gets the victory. And he's running to the back, all smiles, and then he gets attacked by Baron Corbin. I think it was good to have Adonis versus Cameron Grimes because Cameron Grimes looks like the bigger man, but then you have him being attacked by the much bigger man, Baron Corbin. I think Baron Corbin, this kind of gives him a new lease on life, putting over Cameron Grimes. And I think, a guy who is wrestling Roman Reigns at one point in 2019 and 2020 can, use his shine to shine up the new guy that they look like they're heating up. Cameron Grimes, of course, North Carolina native, been watching wrestle since like 10 years now. People have been telling me about Cameron Grimes. Trevor Lee. He used to be Trevor Lee if you want to YouTube him. Bianca Belair promo. She gets attacked from Asuka from behind. This is like the 3rd week in a row this has happened. This is a rehashed feud from WrestleMania anyways. I like both these ladies a lot, but this build is lazy as hell. LA Knight versus Boog. Street Profits on commentary. Boog's booging out. LA Knight gets the ring and gets the win, and then gets the mic and cuts a promo on the Profits. He is super over, a huge pop. The crowd is doing his little, sing along. LA Knight, yeah, I would too if I was there. He's cool. I know he's older, but he's just like wrestling cool. Like, of course, if LA Knight was in the same restaurant you were at, and then he's ordering, his meal, like, I'd like the burger, and then I'd like some cheese, and then I'd like some lettuce. Yeah, you'd be like, who the fuck is ordering this food? Like, but he's wrestling cool. It's like there's like a difference, like real life cool and wrestling cool. LA Knight is wrestling cool. I would say Jungle Boy is like real life cool. He's got the hot girl. His dad was, on a cool show. He's like quasi rich in LA. But he's not wrestling cool. LA Knight is wrestling cool. You guys get what I'm saying. If you don't get what I'm saying, argue with me below or hit me up on Twitter. We can go back and forth, have a good time. Karrion Kross cuts a promo before wrestling AJ Styles. Scarlett is attractive. She gets involved, chased away by Michin. Phenomenal forearm, 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles gets the victory on his way to wrestling Seth freaking Rollins at Night of Champions. SmackDown was great. SmackDown, I've watched a few weeks in a row now. I, usually don't do that. And I enjoy SmackDown, especially the Bloodline shit. I've watched the Bloodline shit on YouTube before, but now I'm getting home on Friday nights and I'm tuning in. The rest of the show, the body of the show, holds its own. Like, I like the Sheamus thing. I like Cameron Grimes. I like Boogs and LA Knight. I like AJ Styles. Like, I like the other, the middle of the pack is good, but I feel like this is all like I was saying with the burger. This is the cheese, the lettuce, the tomato, the buns, but the meat of the show is the Bloodline angle, and that shit never disappoints. Wrestling never disappoints. I won't say that. Wrestling is good to me. I hope wrestling is good to you guys. As always, fly high. I'm out.